never saw it coming. I couldn't read the signs. I don't know why I let you in this time. I must be blind. I guess I couldn't trust you, 'cause all you did was lie. Oh no, I have to keep you off my mind. 'Cause of you, I'm wired up. I don't want you. It's time for you to go. Oh, you, I had enough. I don't want you. It's time for you to go. I never saw it coming. I couldn't read the signs. I don't know why I let you in this time. I must be blind. I guess I couldn't trust you, 'cause all you did was lie. Oh no, I have to keep you off my mind. 'Cause of you, I'm wired up. I don't want you. It's time for you to go. Oh, you, I had enough. I don't want you. It's time for you to go.
Good evening and welcome to Waupun High School. Steve Witterhack with you to bring you some girls basketball action. Should be a great one here tonight. Big battle in the East Central Conference as the Waupun Lady Warriors, sitting with just one loss in conference play, suffered a loss in their last game, their first conference loss. And they're sitting at 10-1, and they're taking on 9-1 Kewaskum in this ball game. And we're going to talk about that last game for Waupun, talk about the meeting between these two teams earlier in the season. But I was really expecting a great game. Really, the conference will be decided who the conference champs will be tonight here at Waupun High School. Kewaskum, just a great team. They've only got 2 losses on the entire season. They're 19-2. Waupun sitting at 20-2 with that loss to Kettle Moraine Lutheran in their last game on Tuesday, and the loss that they had against the number 2 ranked team in Division II, and that's Green Bay Notre Dame Academy. Lost to them in overtime. So they're just having a great season, blowing most of the teams off the court. But again, had that little bump in the road. We had an injured player. We'll talk about that too in that game against Kettle Moraine Lutheran and that 1-point loss. Again, we are video streaming here tonight. We got Jeff Sauer here, Randy Armga not available tonight. So just me flying solo doing the play-by-play. But I got a big mouth. I can keep talking, I guess. And Jeff's pretty good at that too when he does the video and the announcing. So I can't even imagine doing both of those things. But yeah, really looking forward to this ball game here today. As far as the Waupun Warriors suffered a loss on Tuesday. I think everybody was surprised that didn't go to the game and didn't maybe watch the game online, that woke up on that Wednesday morning and heard, what, they lost the game in conference? Because nobody was close to them all year long, but they did lose 46-45 to the Kettle Moraine Lutheran Chargers at Kettle Moraine Lutheran, a tough place to play. But they were also, for Waupun, they were missing Kale Peterson. She had sprained her ankle in practice the night before that game, and it was kind of a game-time decision with her. They just thought, should they put her out there at maybe half speed or so and put her on the court, or should they save her so she has time to heal a little bit, which is good that they decided to do that, let her heal a little bit and be ready for this game against Kettle Moraine Lutheran, because Waupun, when they played them last time back on the 7th of January, beat Kewaskum by a score of 47-25, the team they're going to face here tonight. At that time, that was the lowest point total that they've had all season long. Waupun even having a 100-point game in the first game of the season when they started out the season, a really nice tournament that they played against a really good team with some Division I college players on it, but this blew the team right off the court. So they are used to putting major points on the board, and you were kind of held in check a little bit as far as our offense, but defensively we kept Kewaskum down to 25 points in that ball game. We'll talk about the last game, that loss that Waupun had. We'll talk about the last game for Kewaskum blowing Berlin right off the court. That's all coming up as our Home and Auto Sales pregame show continues live from Waupun Area Junior Senior High School on RP Sports.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Homan family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem.
My name is Jim. Came to New Medical for bad knee pain. Before that, I couldn't squat, kneel. I had difficulty getting in my truck. 12 weeks later, things are getting better and improving every day.
Hi there, my name is Steve. I had a lot of pain in my right knee due to arthritis. The results I've experienced have been a lot less pain in my knee. I'm able to walk up and down steps a lot better than I was. I would highly recommend the procedure to anybody that's been talking to an orthopedic surgeon. They wanted to perform a full knee replacement on me, and I thought, I'm pretty young for that, so I was looking for other alternatives.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
Steve with us here, the Other Bar, Main Street, Waupun. It's a super week to stop on by the Other Bar here, Steve.
Yep, big games coming up on Sunday, so stop on down and Nacho Bar at halftime. Get some beer specials. We got the Miller Lite, Coors Light bottles for $2.50. So stop down and cheer on your favorite team. I say go Bengals.
Taking a look at some of these great lines of beer, always changing here at the Other Bar, right?
Yep, just switched out a few more this morning, so stop on down. There's always all different kinds of beer on tap. We've got a cider on tap also, so find something that you can definitely enjoy.
Fish fry coming up on Friday, and of course, pizza specials and your great weekly and daily specials, too.
Yep, pretty much Monday through Thursdays, we always have our hot beef, turkey, and pork sandwiches going. And then all through the week, we have appetizer specials, different homemade soups from Sarah in the kitchen. So stop down. Every day is something different. Check it out.
Steve, have a great week. Thank you.
You too, thanks.
The Other Bar, Main Street in downtown Waupun.
Saputo USA, just outside of Waupun, is hiring. Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible career opportunities available in their Alto facility. Competitive pay starting at over $21 per hour, benefits, and more. 8 and 12-hour shifts. Apply today and join one of the best-growing companies. Apply at Saputo.com or stop in on Highway EE in Alto, just outside of Waupun. Saputo Cheese is an equal opportunity employer.
Senior high school Steve Witterhack with you. And again, we have a great game all on tap here tonight. We've got the Waupun Lady Warriors and the Kewaskum Indians right now kind of tied. Maybe Waupun with a half-game lead because Kewaskum still has another conference game after this. This will be Waupun's last conference game of the season, but Waupun sitting right now at 10-1 in the ECC, and Kewaskum at 9-1. And Kewaskum just has to play Plymouth, the team that everybody's kind of been beating up on the top of this conference, and they're down toward the bottom of the conference. So should be a win for Kewaskum coming up. So essentially, this is for the conference championship here tonight in Waupun. Let's take a look at Waupun's last game. Again, they lost by 1 to Kettle Moraine Lutheran without the use of Kale Peterson out with a sprained ankle. Abby Alsma put in 20 points. She had 5 rebounds and 7 steals in that game. And Gracie Gopal 13 points, 6 rebounds. And Gabby Matamoris with 7 rebounds. And I got the scoop on the game. The best place to go find the scoop on a basketball game is go and ask their moms. And that's what I did. Concession stand, I had Gracie Gopalin's mom was over there. Abby Alsma's mom was over there, and I asked them, and they said they were just off as far as shooting in that ball game against KML, which is, again, a tough place to play. So they said really it's a team that even without Kale Peterson they should have beat, but just weren't playing well offensively and ended up losing the game right down to the wire, losing 46-45. They were down by 5 at halftime, outscored KML by 4 in the second half, but that was 1 point short of what they needed to at least tie that ball game up. For Kewaskum, in their ball game they took on Berlin. It was a laugher in that game. They won 61-17. They were ahead 33-9 after the half and outscored them 28-8 in the second half. Abby Christensen had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals. Maddie Doggs with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. And Morgan Adams chipped in 10 points and had 5 blocks in that ball game. Now, taking a look at that game that they played already this year back on the 7th of January, it was Waupun knocking off Kewaskum by a score of 47-25. Really, Kewaskum not really a threat in that ball game. Waupun just pulled out right away in the beginning of the game. But I tell you what, Kewaskum gave Waupun everything they could handle with the defense they applied. I mean, they've got long, tall team. They're aggressive inside. And I liked everything I saw about them defensively against Waupun. They had a good game plan. They just had to figure out how to score against Waupun, which they couldn't. They had 25 points total in that game. So Waupun winning at 47-25. Abby Alsman that game at 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals. Gracie Gopalin, the Energizer Bunny, with 12 points. Kale Peterson, 9 points with 9 rebounds. Owned the glass, even though she has some big players for Kewaskum to try to keep off the boards. For Kewaskum, they were led by Andy Christensen, another 13-point game for her. And that is, I believe, her season average is right about 12 points a game. She had 5 rebounds in that game, and Maddie Doggs with 6 rebounds. one thing about Kewaskum, they want to take it inside. They want to go inside. They want to make things happen in there, maybe get to the free throw line. They are not a three-point shooting team. I looked at nobody even shooting over 30% on the season from behind the arc. So Waupun might not have to guard that three-point line real closely and really try to kind of take care of business inside, and that's going to be a hard thing for the Indians to do. And Waupun's got some good height in there. Of course, you got big Cale Peterson, the 6'1 sophomore, and she is a shot-blocking machine inside. I think she averages in a game almost 3 blocks a game, which is a high number for blocks in a ball game. 17 points a game and 10 rebounds a game. And also you got Gabby Matamoris, who's really he was kind of a project when she first came up as a sophomore on varsity, but she's worked hard. And the coaches all said that. She's a hard worker. She'll do anything you tell her to do out there to improve, and she has just gotten better as we watch her throughout the seasons into the senior year, and kind of finishing with a good flurry here and doing well this season. So she's another force inside to try to stop Kewaskum from getting those inside points, as long as those girls don't get in trouble, foul trouble in the ball game. Take a look at Waupun. You got Abby Alsma, of course, one of the top players in the state, one of the top three-point shooters in the state, shooting 47% from behind the arc. Almost 21 points a game for her, almost 4 assists a game, and about 3.5 steals for her in a game. Cale Peterson was 17 rebounds a game, 10 rebounds, I should say, and 17 points a game. And then you got Gracie Gopal, and she is just an unbelievable and worth the price of admission ball handler out there. A 5'2" sophomore, but averages over 9 points a game, 38% from behind the arc, and over 5 assists a game. Just amazing. Then you got the other two Alsma sisters, Naomi Alsma averaging 5.5 points a game, the 5'5" senior, and Lydia Alsma averaging almost 9 points a game. She's a 5'10" freshman. Taking a look at our New Medical Center injury report, call New Medical Center of Waupun at 920-249-8757. That's 249-8757, and really nobody on the list for Waupun has said maybe a bit of a sore ankle for Cale Peterson coming into the ball game. Other than that, everybody ready to play some ball here, and that's what they said with the coach Russell Thull from the Indians. Said his players, surprising this time of year, at the end of the year, are pretty healthy right now and playing really good ball. We'll come back with the starting lineups and the beginning of tonight's game. It's the Waupun Lady Warriors hosting the Kewaskum Indians. Essentially, this is for the East Central Conference Championship tonight. Should be a great game. Thanks for joining us. Again, let everybody know you can watch and listen to this game on radioplusinfo.com or just go to YouTube. You can find it right there, and you're going to get yourself great coverage of the game with Jeff Sauer and his video coverage, and I'll try to do my best with the play-by-play in the game and feel the emotion of the game. But this should be a great one. These are why I do games. Packed house almost here in Waupun, about as close to packed as we've seen this season. So we'll be back with the beginning of the game and the starting lineups coming your way in just a few minutes on RP Sports.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 Cents for the Future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.
Make an impact within your community with Marian University's Bachelor of Social Work program. Experience direct client contact from your very first course, taught by faculty with years of field experience. Apply to Marian University today. Explore the mind and expand yours. With Marian University's Psychology Bachelor's program, experience exciting classes, professional conferences, field placements, and a 93% job placement rate. Apply to Marian University today.
Dentistry of Wisconsin has exciting news to share. They have officially moved into their brand new office in Waupun, and they have completely remodeled their Beaver Dam office too. Both offices featuring new state-of-the-art equipment and a relaxing and comforting environment. The Waupun office is now at 412 Shaler Drive, conveniently located off Highway 151. Dentistry of Wisconsin, where your smile is their business.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. and school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
And we are back at Waupun Area Junior Senior High School. The national anthem all played, and we are ready to play some basketball. Looking forward to this game. One of those games you kind of circled on the calendar before the season started. You know it's going to mean something when it got to this time, and that's exactly what's happening here. And we'll take a look at the starters for your Waupun Lady Warriors. Tim Alsma, the coach. They'll be starting Naomi Alsma, 5'5" senior. Also in the starting lineup is Abby Alsma for the Lady Warriors, and she's averaging over 20 points a game, almost 21 points a game, and she is a 5'9" senior. Gabby Matamoros, the big girl inside, a 7-point average for her on the season and 6 rebounds, 6-foot senior. And Gracie Gopalan, that great ball handler. She does not get rattled by anything out there, and she is a 5'2" sophomore averaging over 9 points a game. Great three-point shooter and loves to dish the ball off just as much as she likes scoring points, over 5 assists a game. And Kale Peterson, of course, starter for Waupun, back after that one game out with that sprained ankle. We'll see how that affects her in this ball game here tonight. 17 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 3.5 assists a game. For the Kewaskum Indians, and the starting lineup for them, they'll have Julia Stager in the starting lineup, a 5'4" junior averaging 6.6 points a game. Morgan Adams averages 5 points a game, a 6-foot junior. Gracie Lighthizer, and she is a guard for them. Lighthizer is a 5'3" junior averaging almost 13 points a game. Anna Christensen is one of their leading scorers, 11.7 points a game, almost 6 rebounds a game, a 5'10" senior. And they round out their starting lineup with their scoring leader, almost 14 points a game for Maddie Doggs, a 5'11" junior, 7 rebounds a game, 4 steals a game. And she's a nice player. So here we go. This should be a good test for Waupun. You got to get battle tested getting into the postseason. They do have one more game coming up, and we'll have that as our Saputo Cheese Game of the Week coming up next week, Tuesday, as this game is our Saputo Cheese Game of the Week this week. Tip is up, and it is won by the Kewaskum Indians. So they bring it up, get it over to Stager along the left side, back to the top of the key to Anna Christensen. She had a pretty nice game. The only offensive spark really for them in the game that we watched earlier this season on the 7th of January. Working the perimeter right now, and a little back cut. Nice job and a nice move to the basket, putting it up and putting it in is Maddie Doggs. Nice back cut and then a nice little side step off to her left, and she puts it in. And Waupun now trailing 2-0 here in the early going. Lady Warriors with the basketball. Abby Alsma has it out on top. Looking at some man-to-man defense being applied by the Indians. Here goes Peterson along in the lane. Little up and under, a little scoop shot with the left hand, misses, and getting the rebound is Annie Christensen. So good defensive stop on Waupun's first possession by the Indians. Leading now 2-0 on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. Christensen gets the ball inside, shot is missed, and kind of forcing it up there, missing the next shot. Kewaskum still with the basketball. They get it back out on top. Near half court with it is Julia Stager. Remember her being a pretty scrappy little player when Waupun played him last time over at Kewaskum. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Gracie Gopalan out there, just a real high energy player. A little pass inside and putting it off the glass and in is Annie Christensen. Nice little move across the lane, and they got it to her, and she puts it up on the right side off the glass, gets fouled, and she's looking at a three-point play the traditional way at the free throw line. She's a 54% free throw shooter on the season. Great crowd here to watch the game. They just came pouring in and probably helped that we had a overtime in the JV game. Waupun winning. She has a swish on her free throw, makes it a 5-0 lead. Kewaskum, I know they wanted to work on their offense against Waupun's defense, and they've been working on it, obviously. Took them a good about 10, 12 minutes just to get to 5 points in that game over at Kewaskum. Gopalin takes it along the right side, and then we've got a foul on Waupun, maybe a blocking foul. I'm going to call that on Gabby Matamoros. So Waupun picks up our second foul of the ball game, their second team foul. That's Gabby's first. And Kewaskum back with the basketball on a 5-0 lead. 2 minutes into the ball game. Ball on the right side over to Lighthizer. And they get it over now to Julia Stagger, and they're setting it out on top in the hands of Maddie Doggs. Doggs got to watch out after she gives up that ball, moves well without it. They're finding some passes and looks inside. Nice job by Peterson with a block. And Peterson gets the block, and Waupun has the basketball. Have to keep track of her blocks. Randy here to keep track of that for me. So, yeah, she can rack them up sometimes. She's got to be up in the 7-8 range once in a while. Goes Peterson strong on the right side, gets fouled on her way to the basket. And going to the line to shoot 2 will be Kale Peterson, a 60% free throw shooter. I noticed Kale getting a little cold on her three-point shooting last time we saw them play about a week and a half ago. Free throws up, and it is nothing but net. Shot a little bit better, a little higher percentage earlier in the season, and that dropped a little bit. But, yeah, maybe sometimes you get a little injury like that. You concentrate and focus on your form just a little bit more, and we'll see if that turns around. She looked pretty good in the warm-ups. Both free throws good. Waupun on the board. They trail 5-2. Tracy Gopalin trying to do a one-man full-court press against 3 Kewaskum players. So Christensen has the ball out on top, guarded by Kale Peterson. They're going to give her to Doggs along the left side, and she goes along the baseline. Nice move, but she gets it blocked again by Kale Peterson. That's her second block of the ball game. 2 points and 2 blocks. Good job with Doggs, such a good finisher inside. Gopalin's got it down in the left corner. It's it back over to Abby Alsma, turns around, three-pointer up. It is good, and we are tied just like that at 5 apiece. Some great defense. They're finally converting down on the offensive end, and we are tied at 5. So Kewaskum back with the ball. Here goes Doggs. A little spin move in the lane, goes up with the left hand, and that one rims out, no good. And a block by Abby Alsma. And then the ball is bounced, I think, off from Naomi Alsma's hands, and then goes out of bounds. It'll be Kewaskum basketball over on their baseline. 14:35 left in the first half of action. And we'll find a little breakdown on the coverage. A little breakdown of the coverage, and a shot by Doggs goes in to try to get the basket. Misses the shot. Her teammate puts it in, but the official by that time had already said that it was on the first shot, the foul on Waupun. And going to the free throw line to shoot a pair will be Kewaskum's Maddie Doggs. First free throw is up, rims around and goes in. 3 points for her. Lydia Alsma checking in the ball game right now for Waupun. And Gabby Matamoros will have a seat. Another free throw for Kewaskum, and good again for Doggs. So Waupun now trailing 7-5. Now looking at maybe a zone defense, meeting them at half court, and then drive to the basket, but missed by Kale Peterson. And one and done for Waupun as Kewaskum comes up with it. They find all alone underneath the basket Morgan Adams. And a timeout on the court. And we're going to do the same back in 1 minute with 30 seconds with a full. I guess we're going to be back in 1 minute with more Waupun Lady Warrior basketball on RP Sports.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem.
My name is Jim. Came to New Medical for bad knee pain. Before that, I couldn't squat, kneel. I had difficulty getting in my truck. 12 weeks later, things are getting better and improving every day.
Hi there, my name is Steve. I had a lot of pain in my right knee due to arthritis. The results I've experienced have been a lot less pain in my knee. I'm able to walk up and down steps a lot better than I was. I would highly recommend the procedure to anybody that's been talking to an orthopedic surgeon. They wanted to perform a full knee replacement on me, and I thought, I'm pretty young for that, so I was looking for other alternatives.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
And welcome back to Waupun Area Junior Senior High School. More full-car half-court pressure and another turnover by Waupun. And Gracie Gopallen's going to go up for the block, but gets called for the foul. And 2 more free throws for Kewaskum. It's beginning to be a bit of an issue for the Lady Warriors. Racking up some fouls. Only 1 team foul for Kewaskum and 4 for the Waupun Lady Warriors. That is just the first foul, I should say a personal foul on Gracie. First free throw for Julia Stager. Rolls around and goes in for her first point of the ball game. Next one up, and that one is nothing but net. She's now got 2 points, and Waupun trailing 11-5. Kind of a 1-2-1 in their meeting at half court, and then another turnover by Waupun, not handling the half court pressure. Here come the Indians again. Dogs gets it in the lane, gets it back out on top. Adams gets the ball over to Julia Stager out near half court. Leitheiser with it, and Stager has it now. And passes to Dogs along the right side. Ball tossed away inside, and coming up with a steal is Naomi Alsma. Waupun gets it back with no further damage here. Now let's see if they can take care of things offensively. Peterson has it by the free throw line, and I tell you, Kewaskum, they are coming at you hard with the defense. Overlaid shot with the left hand by Peterson, and a rebound in the hands of Kewaskum's Julia Stager. Great defense by the Indians, which they did play against Waupun last time they met. But they had the offense to it. Together turnover. Nice shot by Lydia Alsma to get a hand on it. And here goes Abby Alsma, goes hard to the rack, and she's going to get fouled on her way to the basket by Morgan Adams. So Abby Alsma going to the free throw line to shoot 2 for Waupun, trailing now 11-5 on your New Medical Integrated Healthcare scoreboard. Abby, a 79% free throw shooter. Easily puts the first one in for her 4th point of the game. I'd say Kewaskum definitely had a game plan coming in. They came to play, and they're very good against Waupun's offense. Both free throws good for Abby. Waupun's got to clean it up a little bit. They're getting a lot of resistance, double teams once they get past half court. Forcing Waupun to make some bad passes, jumping Waupun's passes. And that's going to go off from Dogs' hands and out of bounds. Good job by Abby Alsma getting a hand on it. Then it goes off the fingertips of Kewaskum's Maddie Dogs out of bounds, and Waupun gets it back. So good defense by Waupun. Celia Tooney coming in the game now for Waupun, and Kale Peterson sitting down. Got Naomi Alsma out there now for the Warriors. Lydia Alsma, Abby, all 3 sisters for the Alsmas. And also Gracie Gopallen. Gopallen dribbling around near half court off to her right. 11-7 the lead now for Kewaskum. Gopallen has it out on top. Back over to Abby Alsma. Thought about the 3, but they closed in on her a little too soon. Has it inside the 3-point arc, and right side pass over to Gracie Gopallen. And she's working against a much taller Christensen out there, and now she kind of gets it back out to Lydia Alsma. Abby has it, has a little pick. He uses that on the top of the key and puts it up and in. Nice job. Tooney setting that pick up there, and Abby Alsma goes up and puts it away for her 8th point, her second 3 of the game. Waupun back within a point now. A pass in the lane, but that's just tossed away. Bad attempt inside. Waupun gets it down, and a pass over to Tooney along the right side. Nice job by Abby Alsma. Not in position to shoot the ball. Turns around, finds Tooney, and she gets there for an easy bucket. Waupun now takes the lead 12-11, and we will be back in 30 seconds with more Warrior basketball on RP Sports.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Home and Family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
Nice run by the Lady Warriors, down by 6, came back. Now they have the lead for the first time in the ball game, up 12-11, 11:40 and counting down in the first half. Good job. They like getting those points in transition, and now they're causing some problems for Kewaskum, getting in the passing lanes and knocking a few balls loose and forcing them into some bad passes. See Maya Vetta, the 5'5 sophomore, on the court now for Kewaskum, along with Haley Butchlick on the court. And ball tossed away again off the fingertips of Christensen, and Gopalin gets it swatted out of there, and Waupun retains possession. Gracie, she's not afraid to go at the big girls out there. She's always been the smallest player on the court, but has learned how to get it up against them, but not that time. Dog swats it back down. Tooney has it out on the three-point line, gets it back over. Now a three-pointer up and misses everything in the shot by Abby Alsma. Thought maybe she's going to use that pick again by Tooney and kind of dribble it off to her right and get a better look in rhythm and not so far out. Waupun with a 1-point lead, 10:50 and counting down in the first half. A great game so far here at Waupun High School. Steve Witterhack with you, along with Jeff Sauer doing the video streaming for us here tonight. This is your Saputo Cheese game of the week. I had to bring it to you. Drive in the right side and going up, and another foul on Waupun. Drive from that right side by, looks like Gabby Gerhartz. Gopalin picks up her second foul, and that's the one thing that could be a problem for Waupun. They've got 5 fouls so far, and that's Gracie's second. As aggressive a player as she is, don't want to have her sitting down for any length of time. Gerhartz makes her first free throw. It's the 5'6 sophomore, very young team put on the court by Kewaskum. They only have one senior out there, and that is one of their starters, Annie Christensen, their second leading scorer. Everybody's coming back next year. Both free throws good for Gerhartz. And that puts the Kewaskum Indians back out on top. And they're using a lot of players. They've got a lot of different players that have been on the court. Now Ashley Vogt is on the court, a 5'7 sophomore. Trying to get that double team as soon as you cross half court. They get it to Abby Alsma. Helps had a chance to get Tooney in the backup, but reeled that one back in. Lydia Alsma getting it down to Abby down in the corner. Goes along the baseline and finds Tooney with the left hand up and in. Nice feeds to Celia Tooney twice in the game from Abby Alsma, finding her. They kind of collapse in on her and double team her, and then they find Celia all alone, and she's got herself another basket for Waupun. So Indians with the ball, and the ball kind of swatted off the hands of Lydia Alsma. And it'll remain Kewaskum basketball. I bet you we've seen 8, 9 different players at least for the Kewaskum Indians. Trying to keep fresh legs on the court. Three-pointer straight away comes up short, misses everything on the three-point attempt by Haley Butchlick. Butchlick, the 5'10 junior, coming up short on that shot. Definitely had in her mind she was going to shoot that out on top. So Waupun back up 14-13. Kale Peterson back in, dribbles off to her right, going along the baseline. Goes up with the right hand, and that one goes in for her, rattles around, and gets it to go. She's now got 4 points in the game. And Waupun opens up a 3-point lead now, 16-13. So Kewaskum back on their end of the court. Stager gets the ball over on the right side in the hands of Vogt. Gets cut off by Lydia Alsma. Ball tossed out back near half court again over to Julia Stager. Nice job by Waupun, kind of weathering the storm of Kewaskum early in the ball game. Came out with a lot of energy. Had Waupun down 5-0 and a couple other leads in there too, but good job by the Lady Warriors to come back. Overlaid shot. Stager could kind of feel Peterson on her tail and a little hard off the glass and missed shot. Waupun comes up with a rebound. Gracie Gopalin passes right side over to Lydia Alsma, back on the top to Kale Peterson. Down to 8.5 minutes left in the first half. And then we've got another foul away from the ball. Going to call that one on Celia Tooney. And Waupun racking up the fouls, only 2 team fouls on Kewaskum, and now 6 team fouls for the Waupun Warriors. That's the first personal foul on Celia Tooney. So the Indians with the ball, bring it over half court. Lighthizer gets the ball over to Stager. Stager gets it back out on top over to Christensen. Look inside, and then another foul going to be called on Waupun, kind of reaching in from behind to bat the ball away, and they're going to get called for that foul, and it should be bonus time. Should be that's the 7th foul, so it should be the 1-and-1 for the Indians. Yeah, it is bonus. So a bonus free throw now for the Indians, and up to the free throw line is Morgan Adams. Waupun leading 16-13 on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. First free throw is up, and that is pure. Adams now with 3 points in the ball game and looking to get her team back within a point on this next free throw. 16-14 Lady Warriors. Next free throw is up, and that one misses, and getting the rebound as Dogs gets knocked out of her hands, and Peterson comes up with it. Gets it over to Gracie Gopalin, nursing those 2 fouls. Don't want to get that third one before halftime. Brings it over half court, trying to stay out of that double team, and then an over and back called on the Lady Warriors. Tim Olsman not agreeing with that call at all with the officials. I don't know, that was kind of dicey whether she was totally established in the front court on that one, and kind of went along that line, but they called her over and back, and Kewaskum gets it back, trailing by 2 points, 16-14. Stager has it. Dogs goes down. Oh, she kind of twisted her ankle, kind of fell down kind of awkwardly, but she's back up again. Cross-court pass down in the left corner, three-pointer by Stager on the way. That is no good, and a race for the basketball in the corner, won by Lydia Alsma. Gets it to her sister Naomi to bring it up, and Gracie Gopalin again, trying to come up the middle of the court, not to get caught in that double team. Gopalin has the top of the key. Gets it over to Abby Alsma in the lane. Little drive. Gets past the defender. Overlays it, though. And then the ball goes off from Kewaskum. Waupun will retain possession on their baseline. 16-14 in favor of Waupun over Kewaskum. Much closer contested game than the last the time these teams met back on the 7th. Waupun winning by quite a bit in that ball game. There's a shot for the right side. No good on the attempt by Lydia Alsma. And rattled in a little bit, then popped out. And Kewaskum with the ball with a chance to either tie or take the lead in this ball game. Getting close to the 7-minute mark. Christensen gets the ball over the right side, and Dogs will put up a 15-footer, and she puts it in. Nobody on her. And she is their scoring leader now with 6 points in this ball game, and the scoring leader on the season. Again, Gracie getting kind of a double teamed over in the corner. Goes Lydia Alsma with it. And back over to Gracie. And she's going to launch up a 3. And that's off the front of the rim. No good. Lighthizer gets the rebound. Pushing it up on the fast break now. Christensen back over to Lighthizer. Back to Christensen. Christensen gets it and hands the ball off over to Stager. Great game. Great crowd here to watch this ball game. Great atmosphere at Waupun High School. You're tied at 16 apiece. 6:20 and counting down in the ball game. Look inside, nice pass by Dogs into her teammate, into Morgan Adams, and she finishes. Lead back in the hands of the Indians. Waupun now hasn't scored for a while. They are up 16-13, now down 18-16. Lydia Alsma with it, gets it back to her sister Abby. The Illinois State recruit dribbles off to the right, gets it over to Gracie Gopalin, dribbling off to her left. A little bit of a weave out on top. Goes Abby, and she's going to get called for a travel. I'm not getting the benefits of many calls out here in the ball game. Some kind of obscure things and things they really didn't catch out there, but all those kind of calls seem to be going against the Lady Warriors so far. 7 fouls as a team, only 2 fouls on Kewaskum, and we're under 6 to play in the first half. Christensen gets the ball over to Stager, over on the right side over to Lighthizer. Get it on to Christensen, cross-court pass onto the perimeter over to Stager, guarded by Naomi Alsma. And Lighthizer has it again, giving it up to Christensen. Waupun sticking in that the back cuts by the Kewaskum has really been really key in their offense so far. Waupun, if they overplay you, they kind of take you outside a little bit, have you follow, and then just a hard back cut. And they've been finding and getting some success with those moves here in the ball game. They do get into Dogs, has it inside. A little sweeping move off her hands and gets defended, misses the shot. Waupun comes up with it. Peterson trying to get over half court, gives up her dribble just before half court and finds Abby Alsma. That's it back on the Waupun side of the court. Thought about the three, but a good defense there by the Indians to prevent that from happening, and the defense by Morgan Adams. Lydia Alsma has it working against Christensen. Flicks it over to Peterson, launches up a three. That's a little short and goes over the backboard. And it'll be Indian basketball. They lead 18-16. And Waupun did a great job against them. 47-25 is what the score was, a final score over at Kewaskum back on the 7th of January. But I'll tell you, they've been had this one marked on their calendar, too, to come back to Waupun. And they've got just a golden opportunity right now, and they're taking advantage of it so far, up by 2. Giving Waupun a much better game. Again, the back cut that Waupun's got to watch out for that. Christensen gets it inside, rips it away, and puts it up and in. A strong move there by Andy Christensen, and that is really something they must have really talked about. Then a turnover by Abby Alsma. Getting the Dogs, and a fakes left, goes right, and misses the shot. Waupun comes up with it, and then there's going to be a foul, a reach-in foul. Looked like Waupun had some numbers to get back, and maybe not a terrible foul there by Kewaskum, just picking up their 3rd team foul to stop that fast break for Waupun. Waupun will be playing at home for their last regular season game coming up next week, Tuesday against Verona, and we will have that for you as our Saputo Cheese game of the week next week, Tuesday. It'll be their last game before the postseason. And we'll find out who they play in the postseason, what it looks like for them, because they'll have the pairings coming up and then a travel call on Peterson. Waupun turns it over. Numerous travels near the ball game, and we've got another timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more Lady Warrior basketball on RP Sports.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 cents for the future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.
We are back at Waupun Area Junior Senior High School, almost a packed house, as close as I've seen it here at Waupun. We got some videos from about, I think, 3 years ago back in that 2019 boys basketball season. It was literally a packed house, every seat taken. Even told people to kind of move over and slide over to get some more seating here in the gym, but still a pretty good crowd here. Watching a very good basketball game, and Kewaskum, great strategy coming in, leading 20-16, 3:48 and counting down in the first half here at Waupun High School. Dogs will get the handoff pass out on top, gives it off to Christensen. Back over to Lighthizer, and a little running shot up and in right in front of Naomi Alsma. That's the first basket for Grace Lighthizer for the Indians so far in the ball game. Abby gets the ball over to Peterson, has it on the perimeter, back to Abby out on top. She'll launch up a three, and that's a little short. And it looks like it's going to go off the fingertips of the maybe Dogs. They're going to call after a swipe by Lydia Alsma, but it maybe went off from Dogs' fingertips, and Waupun will get it back. Now trailing by 6, 22-16, getting everything they can handle here against Kewaskum and more. Looked like Waupun had kind of righted the ship, and they got themselves a bit of a lead. Well, a good job by Kewaskum not to get rattled and coming right back. Peterson out on top with it. Goes off the pick. Looking strong along the right side. Turns around. Little fade away, about 7-8 foot shot. Gets outside of the right block and puts it up and in. A strong shot there by Kale Peterson, her second field goal. She's got 6 points so far in the ball game. 22-18, Indians double team. They do get the ball inside the Lighthizer, then into Christensen, misses it. Kind of rushed her shot in there, and Waupun's Celia Tooney gets the rebound for the Lady Warriors. Gopalin brings it up now for Waupun. Back to Peterson, takes it in the lane. A little runner in front of the rim and misses the shot, and getting the rebound is Butchlick. Those Dogs in the lane with it, back out on top over to Butchlick. Pass right side over to Lighthizer near half court to set things up now for the Indians. 22-18 in favor of Kewaskum. Back out on top. Three-pointer on the way by Butchlick. Back to the rim, no good. Fight for the ball, and Dogs comes up with it. Then it gets knocked away by Tooney. Good hands. Flicking that ball up and grabbing it. Waupun gets it back, trailing by 4. Kale Peterson with it on the right side. Back out on top. Gopala now setting things up for the Lady Warriors. See if they can come up with something in this trip down the court. Long three up by Abby Alsma, and that is no good. Antuni chases down the rebound, brings it out along the right side, and gets it back to Abby Alsma. Waupun with the ball, down to 1:44 and counting down in the first half. 22-18 Kewaskum on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. Ball flicked over to Naomi Alsma, has it in the lane, and back over to Tooney. Abby Alsma takes it in the lane, pulls back, 16-footer straight away, rims out, no good, and Christensen gets the rebound for the Indians. Just not shooting real well, but they are being challenged on the shots. These aren't like their open looks that they're getting. Being challenged in every shot that they take. Nice job defensively by the Indians. Maya Vetter has it out on top. Back to Dogs, and there goes Butchlick inside, hard off the glass, too hard, and Kale Peterson comes up with a rebound, passes it up along the right side over to Abby Alsma, crossover dribble, back to Peterson, little hesitation, goes up hard with the right hand and puts it in. Nice strong move by Kale Peterson. It's Waupun back within 2. It's now 22-20 in favor of the Lady Warriors. A couple games coming up next week for the Kewaskum Indians. They have Sheboygan Falls on Tuesday, a non-conference game, and they're only 2-9 in their conference, so not a great team that they're playing. And they're taking on another team not doing good in the conference, the Plymouth Panthers, coming up next week Thursday. So they got a couple easy games. Waupun challenging themselves, taking on Verona in that game coming up next week Tuesday. I think Verona is sitting at right around 12-4 or something, 12-3 in conference play. A very good team coming in from Verona against Waupun, the Wildcats, on Tuesday night. So that should be a good test. Then they'll have a whole week and maybe then some, because they might get a bye that first week and not have to play till maybe like Thursday or Friday whenever they have that second round game in regionals. So it'll be a nice long break and good time for Waupun to heal a little bit. Cleaning up a little, maybe some blood in the corner of the court. So you got to do that the right way, get it sanitized out there, a whole protocol to do that correctly. 48 seconds left here in half number 1, and what a great game it's been. Nice job by Kewaskum. They really must have really talked about it and had just a great game plan offensively. How are we going to score against Waupun? We only scored 25 points the last time we met. We lost, badly with only 25 points in that ball game. Now they're sitting at 22 points. It's not even halftime yet. They definitely had a nice game plan. And a lot of their points came off from, taking it right to the rim. That's what they do. They're not three-point shooters. And a lot of back cuts by Kewaskum to set up some easy looks inside. Like I said, they really did a good job preparing for this game against Waupun. Russell Thull, the head coach over at Kewaskum. Looks like they've got the whatever mess there was in the corner of the court or on the Waupun side of the court. You've got the PA announcer, Jeff Taves, out there to do a little cleanup duty. Does everything out there. So Kewaskum will have the ball with 48 seconds left and a 2-point lead on Waupun. Waupun backs off and just waits for the Indians to come up. So it's one thing you don't see out of Waupun, any full court pressure. You don't see them doing that. I haven't seen that in any game that I've seen, and with their athleticism, then kind of met them out at half court. Good job by Kewaskum, kind of ready for that. And then Waupun bats another ball for a second there, but Kewaskum comes up with it. And then Waupun does come up with a great defense. And then another travel by Mr. Travel out there. Waupun travels right in front of Tim Alsman. Not sure if he's agreeing with that one or not, but he's kind of looking at his daughter and said, just get solid with the ball and don't shuffle your feet. So that was a travel. Dogs has it. Waupun going at some trapping offense near half court. They are just tenacious. They do get the ball over to Butchlick, and a pass over to Stager gets blocked by Abby Alsma. Her second block of the ball game. Here goes Gopalin along the right side, gets it blocked on her way to the basket by Dogs, and then we've got another foul called on the Lady Warriors. That'll be foul number 8 on Waupun. We're down to 13.4 seconds. Going to call that one Gracie Gopalin, a terrible foul for her. That is her third foul. That's what you didn't want to see with 13 seconds left in the half, getting that third foul. That'll definitely come into play coming up in the second half. Free throw is up, and it is good for Julia Stager, where she is 3 for 3 from the line. That's the only point she has from the free throw line. Making them all so far, trying for another one right now. That also nothing but net. Down to 12 seconds left, 4-point lead for Kewaskum. 10 seconds goes Abby Alsma goes up, gets fouled on the shot, puts it in. Nice job with the left hand for Abby Alsma. So Abby puts it in, trying to get the 3-point play at the free throw line. See if we can get Waupun within a point. Free throw is up, looking right into Warrior Nation, and gets it to go. She's 3 for 3 from the line. On to 5 seconds left. Ball passed down to Dogs in the corner, back out on top. Gets it over to Christensen, and a great defense by Waupun. We're going to see a lot of the second half, but the Warriors only trailing by a point, 24-23. We're going to take a 3-minute break here and come back and talk about the exciting first half. Waupun trailing 24-23 on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. More Warrior basketball coming up in the halftime show in just 3 minutes on RP Sports.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem.
My name's Gary. I had arthritis really bad in my right knee over 3 months ago. Couldn't really do anything, couldn't do stairs, just simple stuff. And now I can do things I couldn't do before. I can climb stairs, walk, anything. My spine's better. And my personal opinion is you're a fool not to get this done.
Hi, my name is Joni. I came here because I needed a new knee, but I didn't want to go through all that surgery and everything. I'm very pleased with it. And the reason I did it because I couldn't go up and down stairs very well. I couldn't work too long hours and had a hard time getting in and out of the car. I had to lift my knee up. And now I can do all those things. And I have no pain, and I would recommend it to everyone, and I have.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
We educate tomorrow's heroes today. Developed by the area's best nurses, your acceptance into Marian University's BSN program will allow you to take nursing courses in your sophomore year. Apply to Marian University today. In each community, forensic scientists crack the toughest cases. With Marian University's Forensic Science Bachelor's program, learn from industry-experienced faculty within a hands-on crime scene lab. Apply to Marian University today.
Saputo USA, just outside of Waupun, is hiring. Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible career opportunities available in their Alto facility. Competitive pay starting at over $21 per hour, benefits, and more. 8 and 12-hour shifts. Apply today and join one of the best-growing companies. Apply at Saputo.com or stop in on Highway EE in Alto, just outside of Waupun. Saputo Cheese is an equal opportunity employer. Dentistry of Wisconsin has exciting news to share. They have officially moved into their brand new office in Waupun, and they have completely remodeled their Beaver Dam office too. Both offices featuring new state-of-the-art equipment and a relaxing and comforting environment. The Waupun office is now at 412 Shaler Drive, conveniently located off Highway 151. Dentistry of Wisconsin, where your smile is their business.
Steve with us here, the Other Bar, Main Street, Waupun. It's a super week to stop on by the Other Bar here, Steve.
Yep, big games coming up on Sunday, so stop on down and Nacho Bar at halftime. Get some beer specials. We got the Miller Lite, Coors Light bottles for $2.50. So stop down and cheer on your favorite team. I say go Bengals.
taking a look at some of these great lines of beer, always changing here at the other bar, right?
Yep, just switched out a few more this morning, so stop on down. There's always all different kinds of beer on tap. We've got a cider on tap also, so find something that you can definitely enjoy.
Fish fry coming up on Friday, and of course, pizza specials and your great weekly and daily specials, too.
Yeah, pretty much Monday through Thursdays, we always have our hot beef, turkey, and pork sandwiches going. And then all through the week, we have appetizer specials, different homemade soups from Sarah in the kitchen. So stop down. Every day is something different. Check it out.
Steve, have a great week. Thank you.
You too, thanks.
The other bar, Main Street.
And we are back at Waupun Area Junior Senior High School. About 60 girls out there with pom-poms out there, where the dance team is out there. Waupun's dance team, I believe, finished 4th in the hip-hop division at state. So a good tradition, and now they've got plenty of girls waiting to fill those spots when they get up to school. And that helps with the attendance, too, when you have 60 girls out there and their parents there filming, and we'll see how many stay after halftime here. But, again, they're watching a great game here in Waupun as Kewaskum really came to play here today. 24-23 lead over to the Waupun Warriors at halftime. Definitely a different strategy that we saw with Kewaskum, and they really took advantage of how Waupun plays very tenacious defense. And took advantage of that with just some back cuts to the basket and getting some open looks that way, and using that tenaciousness against Waupun a little bit, Waupun's defense. So good strategy coming in for Russell Thal, but just saw the beginning of what Waupun looks like they might do. You might see a lot in the second half, and that is apply some pressure, really just kind of jump out and meet them and try to double team them right by half court, sort of what they were doing to Waupun, but a little more tenaciously. And we might see that coming up because they had some success, Waupun did, to stay in this ball game and get back in only within 1 point. Let's take a look at scoring here in the first half of action at Waupun High School. It was Abby Alsma leading the Lady Warriors with 11 points, a couple 3-point baskets, 3 for 3 from the line for her. Kale Peterson had 3 field goals and a couple free throws. She was 2 for 2 and had 8 points total. And Celia Tooney with a couple baskets. Nice looks from Abby Alsma, her teammate, getting double teamed and finding Celia coming in on the other side for a couple easy points. But that's right where you want to be, giving Abby a chance to kind of bail out of that and fighting her for some easy baskets. Waupun now 5 for 5 from the free throw line in the first half. Not a lot of free throws as Waupun. I should say the Indians didn't commit a lot of fouls, but Waupun certainly did. You got Gracie Gopal sending with 3 fouls just before halftime, getting that third foul with about 13 seconds left. For the Kewaskum Indians, theirs is a little more well distributed in the team. 6 points for Maddie Doggs. She had a couple field goals and a couple free throws that went in for. Also Morgan Adams with 5 points and Annie Christensen with 5 points. 4 points for Julia Stager and 2 points apiece for Abby Gerhardt and for Grace Lighthizer. And for the Indians, they were 10 for 11 at the free throw line. So a couple very good free throw shooting teams. Waupun perfect at the line, and the Indians with 11 free throws only missing 1 in that first half of action. So we'll see what Waupun does if they keep up that strong defense that they had in the first half, kind of end the last couple of minutes to get some turnovers that way to get themselves back within a point, what you might see from them, and maybe a few more of those shots falling for the Lady Warriors and not being so rattled by the defense of Kewaskum. And your halftime scorer, he is Waupun trailing Kewaskum 24-23. This game is for the conference championship, and we'll be back with that exciting second half coming your way in just 3 minutes on RP Sports.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Homan family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. all you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem. If you suffer from debilitating and chronic joint pain, learn how innovative medicine with human cellular tissue products can get you back to living your best life.
Hi, my name is Les. I've suffered with a bad right knee for 30 years or 40 years. Actually had a knee replacement scheduled, and I looked into this, and it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. My knee now, 3 months later, is almost like new. I can run up and down stairs. I can sit at a gym watching a basketball game. Really happy and pleased with the results. I plan on strongly recommending this to, and I have been recommending this to friends and family who have had joint issues, shoulders, backs, and knees.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 cents for the future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.
Green Bay football players in Fond du Lac. After select Packer games during the 2021 season, fans can get up close and personal with the Pack. Ask player questions, get autographs, win preferred seats to the game plan when you sign up at Raise TV and Appliance. To win the best seats in the house, follow 95 and 96.1 The Rock on Facebook and share the graphic. Have a shot at $1,000 when you play the Camera Casino Photo Finish Contest. All at the Home and Auto Game Plan presented by Midwest Overhead Door. This football season at Fat Joe's. Get schedule information at 961therock.com.
And welcome back to the second half of action at Waupun High School. Steve Winterhack with you, along with Jeff Sauer, doing the video streaming. And Waupun will get the ball first, see if they can have a good first possession and get the lead back in this ball game, trailing 24-23. Abby Alsma gets it to Gopal, a three-pointer from Naomi Alsma from the corner, no good. Gabby Matamoros gets the weak side rebound, back in the hands now of Abby Alsma. Pulls up 10-footer right side, too strong. Christensen comes up with a rebound. Kewaskum's taking it the other way. They get the ball over to Butch, looking back out, a three-pointer up, and way too strong on the shot by Dogs, not her shot. Out there, they really don't have a three-point shooter on the team. Nobody with any kind of good stats that they have on the season so far. Nobody up to 30%. Waupun with another opportunity to get that lead back. Racey's got to nurse those 3 fouls that she got in that first half. Alsma with the drive, gets it swatted out of there by Dogs. Actually lost the handle on the ball and throws it out of bounds. Changes the shot, and Abby loses control, and it'll be Kewaskum basketball. Great defense, and now they just added some offense, which they did not have the first time they played Waupun. They had 24 points in the first half here. They had 25 points in the entire game the last time these two teams met back on the 7th of January. Dogs has it along the left side, back out on top with it is Annie Christensen. Lighthizer gets the ball back to Christensen again, and back to Stager. On in a 2-3 zone right now. Thought maybe they'd come out, play that tenacious defense out near half court, but they're going to kind of sit back in the 2-3. Three-pointer on the way, and that is too strong. And getting the rebound is Butchlick, and gets it knocked out of her hands, chases it down in the corner, and a foul on Abby Alsma. Waupun with plenty of fouls, and like I said, the worst person in trouble right now is Gracie Gopal with those 3 fouls. Stager passes the ball into Lighthizer. Set things up now for the Indians. Waupun staying in that 2-3 zone. Lighthizer back on top over to Dogs, and in the hands of Christensen. Being pretty patient this trip down the court. Kind of taking away that back cut scenario that they had with that man-to-man defense Waupun had before. Dogs gets it back on the left side, and right now Indians just being very patient. Stager has it out on the perimeter. That's a good way to switch it up a little bit for the Lady Warriors. And taking away what they had for their offensive plan in the first half. Christensen has it. Back out on top, three-pointer on the way, and that is up and no good. And Gabby Mata-Morris gets the rebound on the miss by Julia Stager. Abby Alsma turns around, throws up a three. That comes up short, and right now Waupun just not finding their range from downtown. You know, Abby's got a couple threes, but she's missed plenty, too, in the ball game. Christensen has it near top of the key, guarded by Gracie Gopal. Got to watch out, Gracie. Butchlick gets it back on the top over to Christensen. Left side with it is Stager. And now Lighthizer has it out on top. Dogs looking inside, trying to find something in there, but Waupun a little more stingy with that stuff here in the second half of play so far. Nobody has scored yet, and we're over 3 minutes into the half. Off the glass and no good, and Cale Peterson reaches way behind her to haul in that rebound. Waupun has it. Gracie looks over to Coach Tim Alsma to get some orders from him. Man-to-man defense being applied by Kewaskum. Alsma has it, gets over to her sister Naomi Alsma. Here goes Gabby Mata-Morris inside, and Butchlick's going to get called for a foul. And to the free throw line will be Gabby Mata-Morris, looking for her first points of the ball game. Gabby's been shooting pretty good. She started out, on fire in the beginning. I think she made her first 11 or 12 free throws on the season. It's went down a little bit. She's down to 66%. That looked like a 100% free throw right there. Puts it in, and Gabby has tied this game up at 24 apiece. That is the first point of the second half for either team. Almost 3.5 minutes into the second half of action. Gabby sets up her next free throw, and that is rims out no good. Ball is loose, and coming up with it is Lighthizer for Kewaskum. Grace Lighthizer bringing the ball up and gives it over to Annie Christensen. A look inside and all by herself as Butchlick and puts it in. Nice look inside by Christensen, finding Butchlick inside for her first basket of the ball game. Now a little different defense, no more man-to-man stuff. If you're double teaming and trying to trap up near half court. Gopal finds Abby Alsma all alone, comes up right in on that one. I thought it was short at first, but nice job by Gracie Gopal and find Abby Alsma all alone, and she puts it in. And then good defense by Waupun. Abby Alsma gets in on Christensen in a hurry. She turns around, and Abby was right there. Then she fired the ball over her teammate's head, and Waupun will get it back. They are leading now 27-26. Scoreboard brought to you by New Medical Center of Waupun, right on the frontage road. Also sponsored our injury report, which I'm glad to say nobody on the injury list for Waupun. And a drive to the basket by Naomi Alsman, no good. Gabby Mata-Morris gets the rebound and puts it back in. Big basket there for Waupun. They open up a three-point lead, a timeout on the court. And we'll be back in 30 seconds with more Warrior basketball on RP Sports.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Home and Family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
We are back at Waupun Area Junior Senior High School. Nice start to the half for Waupun. Took a little while before anybody scored, almost 3.5 minutes into the second half of action. But Waupun now has got 6 points to 2 points for Kewaskum and now has a 3-point lead, 29-26. Timeout taken by Kewaskum on that one. Russell Fall. Good time to do that. Butchlick gets it right side, back out on top, three-pointer on the way, and that is short again. Pond just definitely let them shoot from outside. They can have those. Pond gets the rebound and a chance to extend this lead. See if they can get some kind of gap between them and Kewaskum. Gopalin has it out near half court. And looking over at Teammate side over on the left side of the court does get over to Abby Alsma. Guarded by Dogs. A little bit taller, longer, lankier player. Gopalin has it down in the corner, takes it in the lane, back on top over to Abby Alsma. Goes up, pulls up, 10-footer, up and in for Abby Alsma. 5 points in the half, and Waupun now leading by 5, 31-26. Dogs has it, gets it back on top over to Lighthizer for Kewaskum. 5-point lead now for the Lady Warriors. They've had a few leads in that first half, too, about halfway through, and Kewaskum did a good job to come back and just kind of make it a seesaw affair for a while, and had that 1-point lead at halftime. Great defense. Waupun really, and then the travel is going to be called on Butchlick. A little hesitation, but definitely picked up that back foot before she headed off to her right. Travel called on the Indians, something you saw just from Waupun in that first half. Waupun with the ball and a 5-point lead. Gracie Gopalin brings it over half court in front of this pretty good-sized crowd here at Waupun High School. Gabby Matamoros, I've seen her shoot a couple threes during the season, but that was in the decided games. Here's Abby Alsma, gets cut off, and back to Gabby, back over to Peterson by the free throw line, spins around, little up and under, puts it up, comes up short, and ball gets tapped back to her by Matamoros, and boy, a nice job by Cale Peterson. Matamoros taps the ball into Peterson's hands, and Cale Peterson takes it up, in, gets fouled, to the line to shoot one will be Cale Peterson. Great job by Gabby Matamoros to keep the ball alive and getting it to her teammate to set that up. Peterson's free throw is on its way, and that is good. She is 3 for 3 in the game, 11 points for her in the game. Waupun has opened up an 8-point lead. Here come the Warriors. Lighthizer gets the ball over to Christensen. In the hands now of Stager. Not as many players coming off the bench so far for the Indians here in this second half. They put about 10 different players on the court in that first half. Christensen gets it, powers her way to the basket, gets it blocked by Cale Peterson. That is her third block of the game. Abby Alsma has it by the free throw line, loses it for a second, but gets it off to her sister Naomi. Is it from the top of the key extended, back to Gracie Gopalin. Waupun can get that. Oh, they throw it out of bounds. Gabby Matamoros was standing there, and that's where Gracie Gopalin threw it right where Gabby was, and then Gabby made a cut to the basket. And the ball goes straight out of bounds. It'll be Kewaskum basketball. Again, an 8-point lead for the Lady Warriors. They were down by 1 at halftime. Dogs has it out on top of the key. Butchlick with a 3-point attempt. No good. And too long a rebound. And they get it inside the Stager. And gets it up off the front of the rim. No good. Back in the hands now, Dogs. And that one changed a little bit. And finally, Cale Peterson comes up with a rebound. They just had some opportunities, just couldn't convert the Indians on that trip down. Good job by Waupun and Cale Peterson battling into all the other bigs for Kewaskum. Pass inside to Gabby Matamoros, goes against Butchlick and gets it blocked on her shot with the left hand. And Christensen picks it up and gets it off over to Lighthizer to bring up for the Indians. Stager has it, looks inside and gets it back on the top over to Butchlick. She's been shooting a couple threes earlier, but must have kind of reined those in just a little bit. Lighthizer along the left side, guarded by Gopalin. Definitely got a mismatch inside. They did for a while, and then Kewaskum did not see that when they had Gracie Gopalin against Christensen posting up inside, but by that time then Peterson came to help. Nice drive, nice look inside by Butchlick, finding Stager on a drive along the right side of the lane. She goes and lays it in for her first field goal. She's got 6 points in the game. He also had it out on top. Good defense to keep her from shooting that on top of the key. Gabby Matamoros tried to get it inside, but not a great pass, and luckily Waupun does get it back. Two defenders on Cale Peterson along that right block. But a good job by Abby Alsma to chase it down near half court. Gracie Gopalin with the ball. Here goes a pullback, 17-foot shot is no good. And then we have got, I'm not going to call a foul on Peterson. And it looked like she had both hands on the ball, just kind of reaching over to grab it in, and they're going to call her for the reach-in foul. Peterson, that's just her second foul. Waupun's second foul here in the half, for both teams sitting at 2 fouls apiece. Kewaskum now with the basketball, trailing Waupun by 6, 34-28. We're close to halfway through the second half of action there, and just 9 minutes left in the ball game. Pass down to the corner over to Dogs, powers it up and underneath the basket, misses. Christensen gets the rebound, puts it back up, that misses. Dogs gets the rebound, left hand no good. Another multi-chance opportunity there for Kewaskum. And a good job by Lighthizer to reach in on Celia Tooney to tie up the ball, and that was clean, I guess, as I thought the one on the other end was. 34-28, 8:49 left in the ball game in favor of Waupun over Kewaskum. What a game compared to that first time we saw him play at Kewaskum back on the 7th. One almost tossed away, but in the hands of Christensen, gets it off the Dogs, out to Lighthizer near half court. 6-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Kewaskum with the basketball. I see Haley Butchlick is out there on the court right now. And a back cut, but a good job by Abby Alsma to stop that on Dogs' move. Trying to find some way to get herself inside. Does not want to shoot a three-point shot. Lighthizer has it along the left side, gets it back over to Christensen. And again, Lighthizer with a little weave out on top. Waupun can afford to sit back in the zone. There are really no three-point shooters. Dogs looking to try to find some way to get in the basket. Goes up against Peterson and puts it up, puts it in, and gets fouled. And to the free throw line to shoot one will be Maddie Dogs. Has a chance to cut Waupun's lead in half. We're up by 6 now. It's a 4-point lead and one free throw for Maddie Dogs, where she is 2 for 2 in the game, even though she's just a 55% free throw shooter. Looks into the Warrior Nation and puts it up, front of the rim, no good. And Lydia Alsma gets the rebound. So Waupun up by 4, 34-30. Just under 8 to play in the ball game here in Waupun. Again, winner will be the conference champ, even though there is another game for Kewaskum. And then we've got a timeout taken by Tim Alsma. We'll do the same back in a minute with more Lady Warrior basketball on RP Sports.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem.
My name is Mary, and I was treated at the New Medical Center for knee pain. I couldn't walk long distances, stand up from a chair easily, or do stairs well. Now I can do all of these things and walk 2 miles.
Hi, my name is Linda. I was treated at the New Medical Center for pain in both of my knees, and it has made a huge difference. I couldn't walk up the stairs. I couldn't get up and down easily off the floor after playing with my grandkids. Getting up off the couch at night was difficult. Now I can do all of that. Right now I have no pain in my knees. I would definitely recommend this procedure to anybody who has pain in their knees, and I would recommend that you do it sooner rather than later.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
And we are back at Waupun High School. A great game going on here. Waupun did pull out by 6 points at one time, now sitting up by 4. Playing some great defense against Kewaskum. Kewaskum back in a man-to-man defense against the Lady Warriors. Abby Alsma has it, working against Dogs. Got a few inches on her. Lydia Alsma gets it back out on top over to Celia Tooney. There's Gopalin, a little lob pass out in the corner and double teamed, getting kind of crowded in that corner that gets it out of there. And Gracie Gopalin gets it over to Peterson. She'll launch up a 3, and that is good. Nothing but net for Kale Peterson. Her first 3 of the ball game. She's now got 14, but she just buries it from a couple of feet behind the three-point line. 37-30 Waupun. 7 minutes and counting down left in the ball game. Waupun wins it. They will be the outright conference champion in the East Central Conference. This is their last conference game. There was a game against Plymouth for Kewaskum, so if they won, they would still have a chance that they couldn't hold on to that by themselves. Missed shot, and they've been missing all day long from three-point range. Abby Alsma just takes it right to the rack, comes up short on the shot, and Christensen gets the rebound. Here goes Lighthizer with it, and she's going to double dribble. Nice job. I think Lydia Alsma got a hand on a little bit. That kind of tossed Lighthizer off a little bit. Kind of grabbed it with two hands and then put it back down to the floor, and Waupun will get it back with that 7-point lead, 37-30, with 6:32 left in the ball game. Gracie Gopalin brings it over half court now for the Lady Warriors. In the hands now of Abby Alsma out on the perimeter. They'll look into Peterson inside with those long arms. Goes up off the glass and in. Nice look and a nice finish with a player in her face for Kale Peterson. Uses those long arms to her advantage and puts it away. Waupun now leading by 9, 39-30. Dogs has it, top of the key, passes right side to Christensen, launches one up, and you can almost see that when I saw it on its way up there that it was going to bank in, and it did. Annie Christensen gets the benefit of the backboard, and a little smirk on her face when she put it in, but she has her team back within 6. Abby Alsman in the lane, 5-footer, back of the rim, no good. And Dogs gets the rebound for Kewaskum. Coming up with it now is a great Lighthizer. Over to Annie Christensen and back to Lighthizer. Addie Dogs has the top of the key working against Abby Alsma. Gets in front of the basket, and then Abby tries to go up and block the shot, but gets called for the foul. And 2 more free throws for Maddie Dogs, where she is 2 for 3 in the game. Just the second personal foul on Abby Alsma and 4 team fouls for Waupun. Dogs free throw is up, back to the rim, no good. So Waupun leading 39-33. We're down to 5:26 left in the ball game. Next free throw is up, and that's also no good, but getting the rebound right in front of the basket was Morgan Adams. Gets it back down to the corner. Adams gets it back on top over to Christensen. Like Naomi Alsma and Gabby Montemoris waiting to check back in the ball game for the Warriors. On with that 6-point lead, playing some pretty good defense, keeping the Indians from getting inside and getting a lot of easy baskets. Only one real lay-in that they've had here in the second half. Dogs has it along the right side, back out on top. 3-pointer on the way, and that is no good. Lydia Alsma gets the ball, and Waupun has it back, gives it up to her older sister Lydia, or I should say Abby, to bring up now. Down to 5 minutes left and counting down in the game. What a ball game here. A couple of very good teams going at it. Both teams with 2 losses on the entire season. 1 loss in conference play. Abby gives up her dribble, goes cross-court pass right by half court over to Kale Peterson. Pine just kind of sitting back, letting the time roll off. And here goes Peterson to the rack and puts it in. Right in front of Morgan Adams. Kale making her presence known offensively and defensively in this game, and just goes right to the rack with it, kind of lulling Kewaskum to sleep, thinking he's just going to run some clock off, and then boom, she heads to the basket and lays it in for 2. Waupun back up by 8, 41-33. Dogs has it, working against Abby Alsma. Goes up and gets it blocked by Abby. That is her 3rd block in the ball game. Waupun comes up with a basketball. Yeah, more important when you get that block is that you get the ball after that too, and Waupun did. And they do that quite often. You see Gopalin just dribbling out near half court, and Dogs telling your teammate Stager to get out the cover or make her have to give up the ball, and just don't let her run the clock down. Under 4 to play. Waupun leading 41-33. Abby Alsma with it near half court. And back in the hands of Gracie Gopalin. Peterson has it along the right side, little hesitation, pulls up, 10-footer right side, back of the rim, no good. And Stager gets the rebound. See them run another half minute off if they could, because they're not really coming out and playing a lot of tenacious defense yet. Got a timeout taken by Russell Thal, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. We'll make it a minute. I'm going to take a full timeout back in just 1 minute with more Lady Warrior basketball on RP Sports.
Steve with us here, the Other Bar, Main Street, Waupun. It's a super week to stop on by the Other Bar here, Steve.
Yep, big games coming up on Sunday, so stop on down and Nacho Bar at halftime. Get some beer specials. We got the Miller Lite, Coors Light bottles for $2.50. So stop down and cheer on your favorite team. I say go Bengals.
Taking a look at some of these great lines of beer, always changing here at the Other Bar, right?
Yep, just switched out a few more this morning, so stop on down. There's always all different kinds of beer on tap. We've got a cider on tap also, so find something that you can definitely enjoy.
fish fry coming up on Friday, and of course, pizza specials and your great weekly and daily specials, too.
Yeah, pretty much Monday through Thursdays, we always have our hot beef, turkey, and pork sandwiches going. And then all through the week, we have appetizer specials, different homemade soups from Sarah in the kitchen. So stop down. Every day is something different. Check it out.
Steve, have a great week. Thank you.
You too. Thanks.
The Other Bar, Main Street in downtown Waupun.
Here we go. We're down to 3:30 left in the ball game. Waupun leading 41-33. They're down by 1 at halftime. A great first half by Kewaskum, containing Waupun, and really doing a good job in the second half too. But Waupun playing some just tenacious defense, and only allowing 10 points so far in the second half by the Kewaskum Indians. Maddie Dogs gets it. They look inside and they get it. That goes at the front of the rim. No good on the shot by Morgan Adams, and Wapun's Cale Peterson with another rebound. The average is 9 rebounds a game. I'm not keeping track of rebounds. I'm only one man. So Gracie Gopalin behind the back, and she'll bring it back out. Why not? She's such a smart player. And a terrible call by the official way on the other side of the court, saying a 5-second closely guarded. There's no way that player was close enough to keep that count going all the way across the court, but that'll give the ball back to Kewaskum, with Waupun leading by 8, 41-33. Lighthizer has it along the right side, back on top in the hands of Stager, and back to Maddie Dogs. Grace Lighthizer has it near half court. Waupun real content to let them take their time trying to score a basket, getting down to the 2.5-minute mark left. Christensen gets it back over in top to Lighthizer and over to Stager. Yeah, good job. Waupun kind of packing it in. They know that right now they have trouble making it. They did make that bank shot 3, and that's all they've had from behind the arc. Lighthizer gets it down in the corner, and a good job defensively by Waupun. Just taking time off the clock. Dogs has it back on the top over to Lighthizer. Great defense by the Lady Warriors. Christensen almost gets it taken away. Stager gets it back on top to Lighthizer. Waupun has burned about 45 seconds off at least on the clock from this trip down for the Indians, and they're down by 8. They can ill afford to do that. We're under 2 to play. 41-33 Waupun. Unbelievable defense by the Lady Warriors. Goes Stager along the baseline, kicks it back out on top. Christensen passes up the 3. Look, gets it blocked by Gabby Mata-Morris. Then she taps it over to Cale Peterson. Waupun with a big change of possession with a block by Gabby Mata-Morris, then taps it right over to Peterson for Waupun to get the ball back, and they can run some time, more time off. Great defense down on that other end by Waupun. And a foul by Christensen out from the top of the key extended. It's only their third team foul. They may have only had about 7 or 8 fouls as a team for this whole game. 41-33 Waupun, down to 1:29 left in the ball game. Waupun will inbound on the sideline. Get it into Gabby Mata-Morris, or I should say into Gracie Gopalin, and she gets fouled by Lighthizer. So, something you don't want to happen is you got to do a few fouls to get to that bonus time to see if you can make it a free throw game. And they've got to do it 3 more times to get Waupun up to the free throw line. That might be why we see Abby Gerhardt's out there. Well, nobody's in foul trouble, of course, for Kewaskum. So Dogs goes out and fouls right at halftime. Half court, I should say. With 1:27 left. And Waupun up by 8 yet. Just took 2 seconds off the clock on that one to get the other foul. And Gracie Gopalin has it, working against Gerhardt. A few crossover dribbles, almost breaking her ankle out there. And then Christensen fouls. A few more seconds off the clock on that time to get the 6th team foul. And now Kewaskum's where they want to be, where they're going to have to put Waupun at the free throw line and see if they can try to come back that route. Gopalin gets the ball and brings it over half court. Another big crossover dribble on Gerhardt and just leaves her kind of grabbing at air. And then they finally foul the person that they probably don't want to foul. I know they were trying to get to Gopalin and they didn't call the foul on it, but she kept her distance past Gerhardt's, tried to foul her, but she tried to reach, and boom, she was gone. So I know that Coach Stahl is saying that he thought there was a foul there, but she probably stayed at least a foot away from her outstretched arms, and they had to foul Abby Alsman, the girl you don't want to see at the free throw line. Abby's free throw is up, and it is good. That is now 17 points in the game for Abby Alsma. And Waupun leading by 9, 42-33 on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. Another free throw for Abby is good. Gets them both to go, and Waupun opens up a 10-point lead. Lighthizer gets the inbounds pass. Waupun again packing it into that 2-3 zone. And Indians can ill afford to just sit back and just try to take their time and being patient here. They got to shoot the ball. Waupun has the clock now under 1 minute to play. Here goes Stager in the lane, gets it knocked away, and Naomi Alsma comes up with it, gets it over to Abby Alsma. And she's going to pull it back and run some more clock off. Hey, come and follow me if you want. And that's exactly what they did. And Abby, good job keeping in the hand of the hot free throw shooter. Waupun leading by 10. We're down to 48 seconds left in the ball game. A great game here, and really showed some toughness by Waupun, taking on a team that came in with a game plan, and they kept Waupun in check in that first half. Great defense. And we're going to keep it right here with Waupun leading 44-33 with 48 seconds left. Great job by Waupun and just playing everything smart. They packed it in on defense because the Kewaskum Indians cannot shoot from downtown. They knew that coming in, so they're just kind of saying if you can shoot from out there, go ahead. But they are going out there and challenging that and not giving them an open look at it. But just great defense, which Waupun has really hung their hat on throughout the entire season. They've always been a solid defensive team. And they held Kewaskum to 25 points the first meeting and did a good job. The 33 points they've got right now. They've only scored 10 points, and it's been about 4 or 5 minutes since they've scored a basket. Waupun did a great job, and they know what to do when they're in the lead. They're a great front runner out there, and they just ran clock off. They packed it in on defense, challenged every pass. And Kewaskum just ran a bunch of clock off trying to figure out how to get past Waupun's defense, looking a lot like that game on the 7th of January over at Kewaskum. Nice job here by the Lady Warriors. Number 1 ranked team in Division III in the state in girls basketball, and just a couple slip-ups that game that they had on Tuesday against Kettle Moraine Lutheran. Tough place to play, and they played without Cale Peterson with that sprained ankle, and then opportunities to win that game up at Green Bay Notre Dame. Next free throw for Abby is off the front of the rim, no good. First miss by Waupun as a team in this ball game. We're down to 39 seconds left. Stager is going to get fouled on her way to the basket. Gabby thought she had a clean block on that, but she's going to get called for a foul. And to the free throw line to shoot 2 will be Julia Stager, where she is 4 for 4 from the line. This is a 62% free throw shooter, but shooting 100% in this game. Stager's free throw is up, back of the rim, no good. They're having trouble down on that rim on that side, as did Maddie Dogg. She was 2 for 2 for free throws in the first half, 0 for 3 in the second half, and all of them kind of brooking off the back of the rim. Stager gets another free throw, and she does put that one in. She's now got 7 points in the game, and Waupun with the basketball, and Gracie Gopin. Kind of a delayed call by the official over there as Gracie got away. They're trying to foul her, and she's just so elusive out there with her dribbling. Just unbelievable. I've never seen a boy or girl that can handle the ball like she handles it. Just your traditional point guard out there, listed as 5'2". She plays big for Waupun. That is foul number 9. Free throws up for Gracie. Holds the pose and puts it in. Just Gracie's first point of the ball game, but you don't need to score points to be a big impact player in a game, and Gracie has had such a big part of this win here tonight. Makes both of her free throws. It doesn't ever force a shot either. She really, except for one that she took against a bigger girl that blocked her shot, maybe only took a couple opportunities for some field goals. But again, Waupun keeping Kewaskum from scoring in any kind of hurry. It was a drive along the right side. That is no good, and Peterson gets another rebound on Morgan Adams' miss. It looks like Cale Peterson will go to the free throw line. She's got 18 points in the game, and 10 of those in the second half. Nice complete game by Cale Peterson. 3 blocks in the game. Abby Alsma with 3 blocks. 2 free throws the rest of the way for the Lady Warriors. Ball is up, and it is nothing but net for Kale, who is 4 for 4 in the game. Waupun going to escape here with a victory, but a hard-earned victory by the Lady Warriors. No fluke that they're leading this game by 13, maybe 14 points after this free throw goes in for Kale. Now with 20 points in the game. Waupun up 48-34, 18 seconds and counting down here at Waupun High School. Cross-court pass over to Stagger, and she's going to throw it straight out of bounds, trying to get the Lighthizer down along that left sideline, but she had moved just a little bit by that time and threw it straight out of bounds. Waupun will get it back. 12 seconds to wrap this thing up and take a conference championship in the East Central Conference against Kewaskum, who should not hang their head. They gave Waupun a much better game this time. Waupun just too good and too good to try to stay with in the entire game. Waupun wins 48-34. Congratulations to Tim Alsma. A great outing here by his Lady Warriors here in this ball game against a very good crowd, appreciative crowd that watched a very good girls basketball game. Two top teams in the East Central Conference going at it, battling hard. Great strategy by Kewaskum coming in, had a few leads in that first half. Had a little bit of a lead for a little bit going into the second half of action, and the Lady Warriors took over with great defense and smart shots to end up winning this game 48-34. We'll take a break and come back in just a few minutes to kind of wrap things up in our post-game show, give you some numbers from the first half in just a few minutes on RP Sports.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem.
My name's Gary. I had arthritis really bad in my right knee over 3 months ago. Couldn't really do anything, couldn't do stairs, just simple stuff. And now I can do things I couldn't do before. I can climb stairs, walk, anything. My spine's better. And my personal opinion is you're a fool not to get this done.
Hi, my name is Joni. I came here because I needed a new knee, but I didn't want to go through all that surgery and everything. I'm very pleased with it. And the reason I did it because I couldn't go up and down stairs very well. I couldn't work too long hours and had a hard time getting in and out of the car. I had to lift my knee up. And now I can do all those things. And I have no pain, and I would recommend it to everyone, and I have.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Homan family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 cents for the future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.
Make an impact within your community with Marian University's Bachelor of Social Work program. Experience direct client contact from your very first course, taught by faculty with years of field experience. Apply to Marian University today. Explore the mind and expand yours. With Marian University's Psychology Bachelor's program, experience exciting classes, professional conferences, field placements, and a 93% job placement rate. Apply to Marian University today.
Dentistry of Wisconsin has exciting news to share. They have officially moved into their brand new office in Waupun, and they have completely remodeled their Beaver Dam office too. Both offices featuring new state-of-the-art equipment and a relaxing and comforting environment. The Waupun office is now at 412 Shaler Drive, conveniently located off Highway 151. Dentistry of Wisconsin, where your smile is their business. Saputo USA, just outside of Waupun, is hiring. Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible career opportunities available in their Alto facility. Competitive pay starting at over $21 per hour, benefits, and more. 8 and 12-hour shifts. Apply today and join one of the best growing companies. Apply at Saputo.com or stop in on Highway EE in Alto, just outside of Waupun. Saputo Cheese is an equal opportunity employer.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Testing 1 2 test.
And welcome back to the postgame. Waupun knocking off the Kewaskum Indians by a score of 48-34. We're even on camera, Tim. This is big-time stuff.
This is big time now, right?
Yeah, we're going to be with you the whole postseason awesome. Doing this stuff with you guys, so definitely at all your games. But, boy, what a battle out there, and a nice crowd, a good crowd for the girls to play in front of. Yeah. And, man, they were tested, I tell you. Kewaskum came in with a game plan and ran it pretty good in that first half.
Yeah, they're so well coached. He's one of my most respected coaches that we have. You know, not just in the conference, but I've always thought Russ did such a great job with some of the teams that maybe weren't as talented as this. He always, the kids on his squad always know how to execute. They understand his game plan, and they always are top notch in terms of defense and how they run their offense. So
they looked like they were trying to kind of take advantage of your very aggressive style of playing defense in that first half and doing a lot of back cuts on you, getting some opportunities that way. It looked like that was part of their game plan.
Well, it's part of their game plan, but we were so undisciplined defensively in the first half. We were just, I think the moment got to some of the kids, so they kind of started playing too far out in the passing lanes, and that's really not what we're about. We're more about contain, and so we got turned around a few times, and then they hit the post when they were able to in some of those backdoor cuts. So they had a pretty good set in the first half.
You guys kind of ended the first half good. You got a little bit of a hole you're in, but you came out and you kind of had that trapping defense and forced some bad passes. And I could feel the kind of momentum kind of changing at that point that you took into the second half.
Yeah, you know, we rely on our half-court man, and that's kind of our identity and who we are as a team. But there's times where you got to use a little bit of pressure and defense and trapping, especially when your offense is struggling just a little bit, to create a little bit of a tempo change and force them to make decisions that they're not accustomed to. So, you know, we had to dig into our bag of tricks a little bit tonight to beat these guys tonight.
Yeah, they're a very nice team. And just talking about some of the play of the girls out there, Abby had herself a great second half, 8 points. And I tell you, somebody with just 2 points in the game, Gracie Gopalan, but she did so many things that impacted this ball game. Her ball handling is just such a convenience to have, and breaking ankles out there and everything else. But a nice game by her. And then Cale Peterson, after having a sprained ankle on Monday, really came out. She had a great game.
I thought she was tentative in the first half. She was kind of ginger on it and that kind of thing. And then finally in the second half, I think she decided to let the pain go and just play through it. And I thought she battled in the second half, and she just kind of forgot about the pain and let the adrenaline take over. I'm sure she'll be sore in the morning, but we'll take her sore in the morning to get this win.
It looked like you guys were going to run some clock off with about 3-4 minutes left, and then she had it by half court and kind of lulled them into sleep. All of a sudden, boom, she zipped by the defender and got herself a lay-in on the other side. And between her and Abby, both with 3 blocks apiece in the game, so they were having trouble in that second half getting those shots that they had in the first half. And then, of course, they can't shoot from outside, and you kind of knew that coming in.
Yeah, that's the one thing that if they do start knocking some shots down, that becomes a very dangerous team. And so I'm sure that he's going to go back and just get in the gym and get them some shots up. And, of course, in the second half, I thought we did such a much better job of being disciplined and taking the middle away, which we struggled with, in the first half and especially early on in the second half. So we adjusted well. Gabby did a nice job defensively, taking that slip from Morgan or from Adams away. Morgan's her sister, but.
Oh, okay. But now you guys will have one more game left. You're done with your conference game, so you're official, outright champs of the conference. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. It's always good to get a conference title, especially kind of the way we played Tuesday night and kind of we were upset at KML and. Come out and win it on our home court is a pretty fantastic feeling.
Now you got Verona. You're going to use that as another game, kind of preparing you for the postseason. Looks like a pretty nice team you're going to be facing here on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think they're like D1 number 7 in the state, something like that. So we'll have our hands full. They've got a bunch of athletes, and we schedule those teams for a reason to kind of get us ready for moments like this. And I was so pleased with how we executed down the stretch of this game. You go back to the Notre Dame game, a couple weeks ago where we lost composure down the stretch. And I thought KML was a good challenge, and although we lost, we came up with big shots, and then KML just made shots. And tonight we spaced it, we kept our composure, we executed. And Kale taking it, to the rack at the end of the game, that's by design, that's not by chance. We trust her in those situations.
You guys ran the clock down so well, and you did so good at keeping Kewaskum from getting any shots off. And I think that one stand you had down there, they must have ran about a minute or maybe over a minute of time off the clock before they even tried to even get a basket. You guys had such a great defense out there. So that defense was amazing toward the end of the game.
Yeah,
especially.
they really locked in. The kids did. They listened. Finally, we had some moments where we were just scratching our heads, me and Coach Wook, and we were just like. Well, it's like collectively losing our head. It's not just one person, and so it's like
doing everything as a team.
Finally at the end there, they locked it in. They were able to get in the gap help and seal off the middle. So.
Well, Tim, we're going to be with you the rest of the way. We're going to be at your game next week, which is the last regular season game. We're going to be at every one of your games, hopefully all the way to the state tournament. So we're excited about what we have with you guys in town, and wish you good luck and keep everybody healthy. And that was a great game that you played against a pretty good Kewaskum team. Very good.
They're a very good team. We'll see them in a couple weeks again if we make it through the first round of the region. They'll be a force to be reckoned with. So we got to be ready.
Okay, Tim, I'll let you celebrate with everybody down on the floor right now. Great win, so I'll grab that from you. But thanks for joining us on our post-game show. Again, Tim also the head coach of the Waupun Lady Warriors. And again, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's just kind of go through the scoring. Waupun winning 48-34 in this contest here today. Leading Waupun was Cale Peterson, had 12 points in the second half. Really some big buckets at key times for Waupun, and she ended up with 20 points. Abby Alsmo, always a team leader out there. She's the floor general on the court. And she had some nice passes into Celia Tooney when she got cut off along the lane and just found people open to get some easy baskets. 19 points for her. After that, it was 4 points for Celia Tooney on those nice assists from Abby Alsma. 3 points for Gabby Matamoros, but she had a nice game. I like the block shot she had and what she did to keep that ball alive. The one-time blocked a shot, got it to her teammate over to Cale Peterson. And Gabby playing a nice game, and also Gracie Gopalan. She is worth the price of admission every week to come watch Gracie Gopalan play. She is an amazing player, and man, if there's trouble out there and a lot of tough defense and you need somebody to handle the ball, that's who you wanted. In her hands, she's such a confident, and that ball is just like an extension of her arm. She's such a great ball handler out there for the Lady Warriors. And nobody in double digits at all for Kewaskum. 8 points apiece for Annie Christensen and Maddie Dogg. 7 points for Julia Stager. That was 5 points for Morgan Adams. 2 points apiece for Grace Lighthizer. Also for Abby Gerhardt and for Haley Butchlick. And that was a scoring for Kewaskum. But Waupun Conference champs again. That's a great night here, and the crowd really entertained. I think we had just a great showing, and people stayed even after we had about 60 girls out there on the dance team. I think the parents even kind of stayed out there after that, most of them, and they witnessed a very good basketball game and just a masterful second half. And Waupun plays one more regular season game. We'll have that. Jeff and I will be here, and I don't know if Randy will be ready to come back with us yet on Tuesday night, but he's definitely invited to come along. And we'll have that game for you coming up Tuesday night, their last regular season game, non-conference against the Wildcats of Verona, a very good team ranked in the top 10 in Division I. So I tell you, Tim Alsman did not back down from the schedule this year, just bringing in all these good teams, going up to Green Bay, playing Notre Dame. Just an amazing schedule, and they're going to be ready, battle-tested for the postseason. And we'll be with you for all of their postseason games. Jeff and I will be here. Randy will be with us for all the postseason stuff, too, and hopefully a trip to the state tournament for the Waupun Lady Warriors. They are good enough and ranked number 1 for most of the season. Masterful game here, especially in the second half against the Indians of Kewaskum. Thanks for joining us. Thank our sponsors for supporting our video streaming here on RadioPlusInfo.com and making this possible for us to bring you. Thanks to Jeff for being here with this great video setup. Just top-notch stuff. Put that up against anybody out there. And Steve Witterhack saying so long. Have yourself a great night. Waupun winning 48-34. They are conference champs in the East Central Conference. Congratulations to the girls and Tim Alsma, the head coach. Again, this has been Waupun Lady Warrior Basketball on RP Sports.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Holman family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Holman.
Saputo USA, just outside of Waupun, is hiring. Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible career opportunities available in their Alto facility. Competitive pay starting at over $21 per hour, benefits, and more. 8 and 12-hour shifts. Apply today and join one of the best growing companies. Apply at Saputo.com or stop in on Highway EE in Alto, just outside of Waupun. Saputo Cheese is an equal opportunity employer.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 cents for the future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.